We're live, final stream of the week. Want to just get on here quickly, talk about some of the interviews that went down this past Tuesday and Wednesday afternoon. There was a ton of interviews, and then we'll go from there, talk about some bets, talk about the four-ball matchups, just talk about the event in totality. So any questions, please drop in the chat. Not going to be on here too long. Just wanted to go out and tell you some of the best things and worst things I've taken from these interviews. So out the gates, I would say the best interview nugget I got was from my good buddy, Patrick Cantlay. Patrick Cantlay talked about how this feels like a typical Northeast golf course in which he has played and always plays really well in his career. But then he talked about how the greens are back to front sloping and POA, which really remind him of home. So we're getting Pat Cantlay on a course that visually looks good to him from tee to green, and then the greens feel like they're home to him. I think Patrick Cantlay is a buy in all markets going forward, and I may have to get in on some Cantlay matchups, and I'll talk about how I'm going to be deploying golfers and betting on golfers this week. Hopefully, it's a strategy that can work during the week. So, yeah, and from there, I really just wanted to see how every golfer felt about the course. So Cantlay was the most interesting nugget that I took away from. So take that with however you want to take it, and I will be probably betting on some Pat Ice. I didn't like what I heard from Sahith Theegala or Colin Morikawa about the course, specifically Sahith Theegala. He was really the only one who said it was really hard and guys are going to be all over the place. No one really said that. I love what Scotty Scheffler and Russell Henley said. Scotty Scheffler said that this is a pretty easy golf course to figure out, which is good to hear from Scotty Scheffler because we know he sometimes tend to struggle on newer golf courses. And Russell Henley said it's a lot of drivers for him, but he feels really, really comfortable with the driver in his hand. So, and that checks out for Russell Henley because he's a golfer who is very accurate with the driver. So Scotty and Russ are paired up tomorrow. I definitely like them. So that was the first bet I made. I made them minus 150, bet a minus 155 in that matchup against the South Koreans, Tom Kim and Sung Jae-im. And like I said earlier in the week, I like Tom Kim a lot more than I like Sung Jae-im. But Sung Jae-im is a golfer that when he has expectations and when he is high priced and when he is one of the favorites in his whatever market, he tends to play poorly. And he's the second price guy in all of the international markets in which I don't like. So those two I am selling in the matchup versus Scheffler and Henley. That's the first matchup. And the second bet I made was what was the second bet I made? Okay, Wyndham Clark and Keegan Bradley versus Seabez and Seabez. I forget who Seabez is paired with, but it's for multiple reasons. First off, Keegan Bradley had a really good quote. Keegan Bradley said he loves the golf course. It feels like another, like Cantlay said, a Northeast golf course. It feels like a golf course that he played when he was growing up, and he plays really well in this area of the country, or not this area of the country, the Northeast. And he said he feels great. Seabez didn't really say anything too concerning, but he's a golfer that I think is going to be thrown to the wolves and just have a bad week because he didn't come in really hot finishing the season. And I just don't think he's going to tear it up and win a ton of points. So Seabez the fade all 4 days. Let's go with that. And then Wyndham Clark is a golfer that I want to go 5-0 or 0-5. He's playing with Keegan Bradley in that matchup. So I like him. I love Wyndham Clark in 4-ball. So Keegan will play out of the fairway and make some birdies, not too many bogeys, ton of pars. Where Wyndham, I want Wyndham to making a birdie or a bogey on every hole. I want no in between. I want him sending driver on every single hole, being extremely aggressive, extremely volatile. That plays in this format, and I think it's really going to play tomorrow with Keegan Bradley. I think it's a perfect pairing. I really don't mind what we did with the pairing. I love Russell and Scotty. I love Keegan and Wyndham. Colin and Sahith, I don't really love, but it makes sense because Colin's a golfer who will play out of the fairway more times than not, and where Sahith can be more wild, kind of like Keegan and Wyndham. But I didn't like what Colin said. Colin talked about how he needed to straighten the driver out more than normal because this golf course is pretty straight in some spots, and for someone who likes to curve the driver left to right on every single hole, that could be sometimes tough. And then throw in with what Sahith said about how his game, and I didn't like him going into it and what kind of his narratives and quotes made me not like him even more. So they're definitely guys that I'm going to. I don't want to fade them because I'm rooting for Team USA, and I do think Team USA wins more than they lose. But I just not gonna buy them. So I think that I'm going to. I already bet Scotty and Russell. I already bet Wyndham and Keegan. But I think I'm going to go in on Patrick Cantlay for the week. I think Patrick Cantlay wins more than he loses, and I think he'll cash you some matchups. So Patrick Cantlay is teeing it up with, I believe it's Sam Burns. Let me just check the matchups and check the odds. Yeah, Sam Burns, they're minus 110 against Decky and Connors, which is I would say the A team for the Prez Cup, I mean the International Cup team. But like I said, I think it's too much pressure on a guy like Corey Connors. Hideki will be fine. Sam Burns is going to be uber aggressive, and Patrick Cantlay is a match play killer. So I think I'm just going to go in, bet those 3 matchups, and if we go 2-1, we profit. But I really think we can sweep those 3 matchups. So that about wraps it up. Like I said, quick stream today. Wanted to break down some of the interviews, give out my bets for the week, and how I'm going to be doing that. So, also for the week, I'm going to be buying every Scotty Scheffler matchup, every Russell Henley matchup, every Patrick Cantlay matchup, and I'm going to be fading every C Bez matchup. Also, could probably fade Minwoo matchups, but I really think I'm just going to fade Seabez as I don't want too much action. So that should be 3 to 4 matchups a day. That's it. Yeah. So buying Scotty Scheffler, buying Russell Henley, buying Patrick Cantlay, selling Christian Bezuidenhout. I'm going to bet those every single day, and I do believe it will turn a profit come Sunday afternoon. So any questions, you know where to find me. I'll catch you guys later this week. Peace out.